Okay, so good morning, children. So in the last class, you know that we have started with adverbs and kinds of adverbs. Yes, and what is an adverb and what is purpose of an adverb? An adverb can qualify another verb, and a verb, another adverb, and also an adjective. Okay, so these things we have seen, and after that we have seen the kinds of adverbs and positioning of adverbs also we have seen. So kinds of adverbs: manner, time, place, reason, frequency, degree, etc. etc. All these things also we have seen. And in certain cases we know that adjectives and adverbs have the same form. Okay, so that also we have seen. And what else we have discussed in the last class? Yes, some adverbs have exactly the same form as adjectives, like for example, a late lunch, I work late at the office. And next thing what we have seen is that when we are forming an adverb by adding ly to an adjective, it has got entirely different meaning. Okay, for example, she worked hard. So there hard is used as an adverb, and she hardly works, that will give a negative meaning. Okay, so that we have seen. And next one, he went direct to his father. Direct meaning straight. And next one, doctor will see you directly. So direct means straight, and directly means soon. Okay, so that difference we have seen. And he got late, we have not met him lately. Lately means recently. Okay, so adjective, when we are adding ly to form its adverb, it has got an entirely different meaning. And same as adjectives, we know that comparison of adjectives will be there, and here we are discussing about comparison of adverbs. Same way, three forms are there: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. And the difference is that adverbs, most of the adverbs we know that which ends in ly, and some adverbs are there which won't end in ly, like fast. Okay, fast is an adjective, and at the same time it's an adverb also. There is no word as fastly, so please do keep that in mind. Okay, fast, faster, fastest. Okay, if it is lately, more lately, most lately. And bravely, more bravely, most bravely. So if ly is there, you have to add more and most to that to form its comparative and superlative respectively. Okay, same as how we are forming adjectives in comparative and superlative degree, adverbs also the same form. The difference is that if ly is there for the adverb, then you have to add more and most to the word. You cannot add, if bravely is a word that is given. You know that brave, braver, bravest is there in when we discuss about adjectives. Okay, but in adverbs we cannot use bravely. If positive is given, you cannot convert that to comparative as braver. Okay, or bravest. Instead, if bravely is given, more bravely, most brave. In such a way, you have to form the comparative and superlative degree of the adverb. So this is what you have to remember. Adverb forms, the same adverb form more and most you have to add up if ly is there. Okay, otherwise you can add er and est. This is how we form, and a few examples are also given that you can just go through that. And next main topic that we have to discuss is positioning of adverbs. Position of adverbs. So there are certain rules that we have to keep in mind how to place an adverb in a sentence. Okay, so out of that 6 or 7 rules are there. Out of that, the first rule is that, okay, adverb of manner, place and time. First rule, adverb of manner, time and place, okay, will be placed after the verb if it is intransitive. After the verb, if the verb is intransitive, and after the object if it is transitive. Okay, so this rule, please do remember. Adverb of time, which all adverbs, manner, time and place, that will be placed after the verb if it is intransitive. You know the speciality of transitive and intransitive verbs. Intransitive means the verb does not have an object, that is called intransitive, and a verb which has got an object is called transitive verb. Okay, so if the verb is intransitive, you know that it should be placed soon after the verb. Okay, and if it is transitive, it should be placed after the object. Understood? Okay, and examples also will give the thief. Example: the thief ran fast. Okay, so here we know that this is intransitive. This verb is intransitive. Okay, next one, it rained heavily. It rained heavily. Same way, rain is intransitive. Okay, so that is why soon after the verb it is placed. Okay, so you have to remember that if adverb of manner, time and place, it should be placed after the verb. So this is the verb and soon after that it is placed. Okay, so why? Because this verb is intransitive. Understood? Okay, and it will be placed after the object if it is transitive. We took a decision. We took a decision yesterday. Okay, so we took a decision yesterday. So here we can see that decision object is there. So this verb, we took what? Object is there, so we took a decision. Okay, so after the object, if the verb is transitive, so this is a transitive verb, that is why after the object adverb is placed. Okay, so based on this rule. Okay? So this one is applied to this and this rule is applied to this two examples. Okay, and one more, the artist played her part efficiently. The artist played her part how? Efficiently. Okay, how we know that? Manner. Okay, the manner in which it is done. Okay, so decision when? So time, yesterday. So manner, time and place if the verb is transitive. Here also transitive. Okay, so if the verb is transitive, what will happen after the object? Played what? Her part is the object and this is the adverb. I hope it is clear to all of you. So first rule, the positioning of the adverb of manner, time and place will be placed after the verb if it is transitive, after the verb if it is intransitive, and after the object if it is transitive. Okay, so if the verb is transitive, after the object adverb will be placed, and if the verb is intransitive, after the verb it will be placed. So that is the first rule that you have to keep in mind. Please do copy all these examples and please do the first rule. Okay, so first rule, I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay, okay, 1 second. I think there is glare coming. Okay, now I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so this is the first rule and now the second rule. Okay, moving on to the second rule. So please do write all this in your notebook. Of course it is there in your text, but if you write it with the examples, it will be clear to you later when you read. Okay? Okay, so second rule is, if you want to give more emphasis, you have to use adverb of time in the beginning. Okay? You want to give more emphasis or more importance to stress the time when the action happened. So what you should do? You have to place it in the beginning. Okay, so for emphasize, so second rule is, what is meant by emphasize? To give more importance. Okay, so for emphasize, adverb of time is placed in the beginning. For emphasis, adverb of time is placed in the beginning. For example, yesterday we went for a movie. Okay, so here adverb adverb of time is yesterday. So when did you go for a movie? Yesterday we went for a movie. Okay, so you want to give more stress on the time when the action happened. Okay. Last month I met my uncle. So when did you meet your uncle? Last month. So the time when the action happened, if you want to give more emphasis or more stress on it, we have to place it in the beginning. Okay, so that is the second rule. It's very simple. Okay, first rule, adverb of manner, time and place will be placed after the verb if it is intransitive and after the object if it is transitive. Okay, and second rule is that if you want to give more emphasis, you have to place adverb of time in the beginning. Okay, so this is simple rule. I hope this is also clear to all of you. Okay, and now the third rule. So third rule, here it's a bit lengthy, but very simple. If you understand where it should be placed, rule is very simple. Okay, so adverb of manner, time, and sometimes. Not manner. Okay, manner is the adverb of frequency, degree, and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed. Okay, so third rule, adverb of frequency, adverb of degree, and sometimes, not always, sometimes adverb of manner. Will be placed where? 2-3 rules are there. Okay. After the verb, if state of being verbs are used. Which are the state of being verbs? Is, am, are, was, were. Okay? Okay, will and will be also we can add. Present, past and future. Okay? So these three forms. So adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes. This is important. Not always. Okay, but this one always. So adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed after the verb if the state of being verbs are used. Okay? Example. She is often late to school. So here we can see state of being verb is there and this is the adverb. Okay, and next one, we were quiet. We were quiet in time for the match. We were quiet in time for the match. What is the meaning of this quiet? That means correct time, almost the correct time. Okay, we were quiet in time for the match, and here also we can see state of being verb is there. Okay, so state of being verb is there. So after the verb, you have to place the adverb. Understood? So this is the first rule. Adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed after the verb if state of being verbs are used, and the state of being verbs are is, am, are, was, were and will be. Okay, an example, she is often late to school. We were quiet in time for the match, and state of being verbs we can see after the state of being verbs. Okay, so that is how these adverbs are placed. Okay, so that is the first thing, and next thing is that, so this one I hope it is clear when you have copied. Okay? And next thing, after between the subject and the verb, if there is only one main verb is there. Okay, if I write the example, you can easily understand. Okay, so in this Second one, between the subject and the verb. Between the subject and the verb, if only main verb is there. That is a speciality. Okay. If helping and main verb is there, we have to insert the adverb in between the helping and main verb. But if only main verb is there, you have to place it between subject and the verb. Okay. An example. Example is Sandhya never forget to send me greetings. Okay. Another example, his uncle nearly lost his life in the war. His life in the war. Okay. So in these two examples, you can see that only main verb is there. Forget and lost. Okay. Forgets, singular subject, so singular verb. Okay. And so only main verb is there. If only main verb is there, adverb of frequency, degree and adverb of manner should be placed between the subject and the verb. Okay. So subject is Sandhya and forget is the main verb. So where we have placed it in between this is subject, this one is verb. So we have placed adverb in between. Okay. So only if subject and main verb is there. Here also, see, you can see this one is the subject and this one is the verb, and we have placed adverb in between the subject and the verb. Okay. So in the third rule, the second subsection. Okay. So third rule, subsections are there. First one, as we have already okay, so first rule, as we have already discussed about that, adverb of manner, time and place will be placed after the verb if it is intransitive, after the object if it is transitive. Second one, to give more emphasis or more importance, we have to place adverb of time in the beginning of the sentence. That is second rule. And the third one, adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed first one, in that subsection first one, after the verb if state of being verbs are used. Okay, after the verb if state of being verbs are used, that means is, am, are, was, were, will be. Okay, state of being verbs are there. If only state of being verbs are used in the sentence, you have to place the adverb after the state of being verbs. Okay, subsection second one, if only main verb is given, you have to place the adverb between the subject and the verb. Adverb should be placed. Okay, so that is a subsection of the third rule. And now the third subsection is, as I've told you right now, if only main verb is there between the subject and the verb, if helping verb and main verb is there, you have to place it between the helping verb and the main verb. Okay, and third one, so in third section, your third subdivision. Okay. Okay, third rule, third subdivision. After the first word, if the verb consists of between the helping verb and main verb, if the verb consists of more than one word. Okay, for you to understand only, this is very simple. Between the helping verb, and main verb. Okay, if more than one verb is there. Okay. Example, we should never disobey the rules. We should never disobey, you should never disobey the rules. Okay, so helping verb, main verb, adverb is placed in between. Okay, next example, the postman has just delivered the parcel. Sorry. So here also you can see helping verb, main verb, adverb. Okay, so from this it is very clear from these two examples. See, frequency, degree and adverb of manner will be placed between the helping verb and the main verb if it consists of more than one. Okay, if only main verb is there between the subject and the main verb, if helping verb and main verb is there between the helping verb and main verb. We should never disobey the rules. The postman has just delivered the parcel. Okay, and next one, before the verbs. So 3 is over and next fourth subdivision, before the verbs have to and used to. So all these are the subparts of this main rule only. Okay, before the verbs have to and used to. Okay, so for before the verbs have to and used to. Okay. Example, we often have to work, and forms of have to also have, had, we have, all those will come under that section. Okay, we often, example, we often had to work on Sundays. Work on Sundays. Okay, so had to before the verb have to and used to. So often is the adverb. Had to, form of had to, past form. Okay, so we often had to work on Sundays. Next one, he always used to visit. He always used to visit me on weekends. Okay, here also used to form and always is the adverb. Okay, see, don't think that lot of rules, Mrs. telling number of rules, how can we learn all these things? Need not by heart any of these rules, but understand the rule and insert the adverb in its correct position. That is only needed. Okay, don't worry about all the rules and all those things. Okay, just understand this. So here, before the verbs have to and used to, and you can see that have to is here. Before that, we have used it. Here also we have used that. Okay. So this is the third rule. So third rule, subdivisions are there, 4 subdivisions, and in that we have seen when it will be placed after the verb if it is state of being verbs are used, between the subject and the verb if only main verb is there, between the helping verb and the main verb if 2 verbs are there, and before have to and used to words. Okay, so these are the places where we use adverb of frequency, degree, and sometimes adverb of manner. Okay, so these are the placing of these adverbs. And now fourth rule is when an adverb modifies. Fourth rule, when an adverb modifies an adjective or adverb, for adverb of degree mainly. Okay, in adverb of degree only an adverb will be qualifying an adjective or adverb. It is placed before, it is placed before the adjective or adverb. The adjective or adverb. See, if an adverb is qualifying an adjective or adverb, before that adjective or adverb, this adverb will be placed. Okay, if this adverb is qualifying another one, for example, he ran very fast. We have studied, okay, in the previous class, he ran very fast. Okay, so this is the verb, this is first adverb, adverb 1, this is adverb 2. Okay, so the same rule is applied here. Okay, example, this is an example for that. Same rule is applied. See, how did he run? He ran fast. How fast did he run? He ran very fast. Okay, so this adverb will be played if this adverb is modifying this adverb, or if it is an adjective. The bed is rather hard. Okay, the example, the bed is rather hard. So hard, we know that this is adjective and bed is a noun. Okay, so this is a noun and this is an adjective which qualifies this noun, and this one is an adverb which qualifies this adjective. How hard was the bed? It was rather hard. Okay, so that is what is explained in this rule. If an adverb or an adverb is modifying an adjective, if this adverb is modifying this adverb, or if this adverb is modifying this adjective, it will be placed before this adjective or before this adverb which it modifies. Very simple. Okay, these two examples which we have discussed in the previous class, based on this only this is applied. Okay, if an adverb is qualifying or modifying another adverb or another adjective, it will be always placed before that adjective or that adverb. Very simple. Okay, next one. Next rule is fifth rule. Fifth rule is adverb enough is placed after the verb. So here it is placed before the adjective or adverb which it modifies, and adverb enough. Enough is placed after the word it modifies. Okay, just the opposite of the previous rule. So previous rule, before the adjective or adverb it modifies, and adverb enough is placed after the word it modifies. Okay, an example, she is intelligent enough. She is intelligent enough. Okay, so intelligent is the word which is qualified. So enough is placed after the word it modifies. So enough is modifying. How intelligent was he? He was intelligent enough. Okay, so this word is modifying intelligent. How much? For the intensity of his intelligence, or the positioning of his intelligence. That is, we explain in this, is intelligent enough. So that will be placed always after the word which it modifies. Okay, so enough to understand the problem. To understand the problem. And another example, the teacher spoke loud enough. The teacher spoke loud enough. So this enough is placed after the word it modifies. So enough is modifying the word loud. Okay, so that is why it is placed after the word. Here enough is modifying the word intelligent. Intelligent enough, that means very intelligent. Loud enough, that means very loud. Okay, that is the meaning of that. Teacher spoke loud enough to be heard by everybody. To be heard by everybody. Understood? Okay, so this is the fifth rule. Adverb enough will be placed. Adverb modifies an adjective or an adverb, it will be placed before the adjective or adverb. But if adverb enough will be placed always after the word it modifies. She is intelligent enough. She is loud enough. Okay, so that is the fifth rule. Next, sixth rule is not that much important. The word only, when it is placed in different places, how the meaning of the sentence changes. Okay, only he promised. See, the rule is the word only should be placed immediately before the word it modifies. Before the word it modifies. Notice how the change in it will make changes in the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so only he promised to give me books. That means only he promised. That means nobody else, only he. Okay, and he only promised to give me books. Okay, so he already promised me, but he didn't give me. That is the meaning. He only promised. So only is the adverb. When we are placing it before the word it modifies or after the word it modifies, the meaning will change. To show that only these examples are given. He promised to give me only books. Okay, I asked him other things also, but he promised that he will give only books. So that is the difference when we are placing only in different positions, before the word it modifies and after the word it modifies. Okay, so only he promised. I asked as many others, but only he promised. Okay, he only promised. He already gave me because I didn't ask him, but he promised that he will give, but he didn't give. Okay, he promised me only books. I asked him many things, but he gave me only books. Okay, so this is the meaning of the adverb only when it is placed before and after the object. Okay, and the last rule in that section, positioning of adverbs, last rule is that, see, that is very simple. Okay, if adverb of manner, time and place is given in the same sentence, and if you are asked to see, you will be given, for the exam, how the question comes is that you will be given the sentence and you are asked to insert the adverbs in its correct position. Okay, adverbs will be given in the bracket and you are asked to insert the adverb in its correct position based on the rules that I have just explained to you. Okay, so we have learned almost 7 rules. So based on these 7 rules, you have to insert these adverbs. That will be the form of the question that will come for the exam. So you should know the rules. That is why I have told you, need not by heart the rules, but understand where it should be placed. If such and such an adverb is coming in a sentence, where it should be placed, whether it should be placed after the verb, or if helping and main verb is there, between the main verb and the helping verb, and if enough is there, after the word it modifies, and if an adverb is modifying an adjective or an adverb, it should be placed before the adjective or adverb which it qualifies. So based on any of these rules, we have to place it in the correct position. Okay, and the last rule is, okay, when there is more than one adverb, that means adverb of manner, time and place is there. Okay, and how you have to place it, the order will be adverb of manner, time, place is given together. The correct order is, first comes adverb of manner, then comes adverb of place, then comes adverb of time. Okay, so this should be the order. If these 3 are given in a sentence, and if you are asked to arrange that in correct order, you have to place, this should be first, this should be second, and this should be third. So instead of MPP, it should be MPT. MPT order, manner, place and time. Example I will give you, she sang sweetly. Okay, example will be given like this. She sang, bracket, in the concert sweetly and last evening. This is how the bracket will be given. And you know that in the concert, where? This is place. This one, sweetly, how? So, manner. Last evening, when? So, it is time. Okay? So, we can see that adverb of place is there, adverb of manner is there, adverb of time is also there. So, how we have to place it? The order is MPT. So, first sweetly should come, and then this should come, and next one, this should come. Okay, so how will you write it? She sang, first one, manner, sweetly, in the concert, to last evening. Understood? So, in this order, you have to write the sentence. So, always remember the order should be MPT. If all the 3 are given, it is not MTP, it is MPT. First manner you have to write, then the place you have to write, then the time you should write. Okay, and one more example, the train arrived. The train arrived. And here only platform, at the platform at 6 p.m. So at the platform means it is place. So if manner is not there, first comes place and then comes time. Okay, so train arrived at the platform at 6 p.m. Okay, so 6 p.m. is time and at the platform is place. So as manner is not there, we need not insert manner, but place and time in this order. Okay, first comes place, then comes time. If manner is there, first manner comes, then place comes, then time comes. Okay, so these are the 7 rules that you have to study for the positioning of the adverbs. Understood? I hope with these much of examples, all these rules are very clear to you. Okay, we'll just revise the rules one by one. First rule. So what is the first rule? First rule, positioning of the adverbs. If, okay, we'll just revise it. Positioning of adverbs, the first rule is that adverb of manner, time and place will be placed after the verb if it is intransitive, after the object if it is transitive. That is the first rule. Okay, second rule, if to give more emphasis, adverb of time will be placed in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, that is second rule. And third rule, adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed after the verb if state of being verbs are used. If only state of being verbs are used. Okay, adverb of frequency, degree and sometimes adverb of manner will be placed after the verb if state of being verbs are used. State of being verbs means is, am, are, was, were, will be. Okay, and between the subject and the verb if only main verb is given. Between the helping verb and the main verb if helping verb and main more than one verb is there. Okay, we should never disobey the rules. Helping should and disobey. Okay, never should be placed in between. And before the verbs have to and used to. Before the verb have to and used to. Okay, we often have to work on Sundays. Okay, and next rule is that, so that is all those are the subdivisions of rule 3. And rule 4 is that if an adverb is modifying another adverb or an adjective, that adverb will be placed before the adverb or adjective which it qualifies. Here I am very fast. Very will be placed before the first adverb. This is very is the second adverb. Okay, and next rule is that the word enough, adverb enough will be placed after the word it qualifies or modifies. Okay, she is intelligent enough. She is rich enough. Okay, rich enough to buy a palatial house. Okay, so that is the 5th rule. And 6th rule, placing of only. Only adverb can be when it is placed before the word it modifies and after the word it modifies the change in the meaning. That also we have seen. And the last rule, in a sentence if adverb of manner, time and place is given, and if you are asked to insert in the correct position, the correct order is first comes adverb of manner, then comes adverb of place, and then comes adverb of time. Understood? Okay, so these are the 7 rules. Need not by heart the rules, but understand it correctly with the help of all these examples which I have given. So you will be given the sentences and adverb will be given in the bracket and you are asked to insert the adverbs in its correct position. Okay, got it, children? Okay, moving on to the next, correct use of some adverbs. And next 2 adverbs are there, fairly and rather. And the speciality of fairly and rather, both of them have a meaning as moderate. Okay, she is fairly rich to buy this house. That means moderately rich. Okay, not too much or not very, what we can say, too much to buy something, moderately. Okay, so fairly and rather means moderate. Okay, and fairly is used for positive and rather for negatives. Understood? So only this you need to know. Fairly is used for positive sentences and rather for negative sentences. One example I'll show you, then you can understand. Okay, this shirt is rather expensive. Why we are using rather here? Why? Because expensive means it is not a positive thing. Okay, you have to pay more for it. So that is why rather is used with expensive. Okay, and the child is fairly clever for his age. The child is fairly clever. Clever is a positivity. Okay, clever of his age. Okay, So we can see that this one is a positive meaning, this one is positive, this one is negative. That is why for negatives we have to use rather, and for positives we have to use fairly. Only that you need to know in connection with fairly and rather. Very simple. Okay, and for example, I find this child dash intelligent. You have to fill it either with rather or with fairly. So I find this child intelligent. It is a positivity, so we have to use fairly intelligent. Okay, I will allow you to come in though you are dash late for the class. Late means it is not a positive thing, it's a negative thing only, so we have to use rather than. So it is very simple. From the sentence you will get a clear clue whether the sentence is intending a negative meaning or a positive meaning. Okay, so according to that you have to use fairly or rather. So as I've told you, fairly for positives and rather for negatives. Okay, so that section is very simple. And next, the use of certain other adverbs. Okay, how we have to use in the sentences. The adverbs like very, much, then quite, then enough. Enough already once we have seen here. Then to. So all these we'll see. Okay, it's very simple only. So mainly use of very and much. So very and much. Note the position. Okay, I'll write it as sections. Very much. Okay. Okay, so very is used with adjectives or adverbs in positive degree. Very is used for positive degree. It is used for adjectives and adverbs. Okay, for both we can use. For positive degree and much for comparative degree. Okay, so we are just discussing about the use of very and much. Okay, so very and much. Very is used in positive degree and much is for comparative degree. Okay, she is example. She is a very intelligent girl. Okay, she is a very intelligent girl. So that is intelligent, we know that it is positive degree. Okay, and next one, today she is looking much weaker. This was example. Today she is looking much weaker, and we know that weaker means comparative degree. Much is used. Okay, here intelligent, positive degree, very is used. Understood? So very for positive degree and much for comparative degree. Very simple. Okay, and next one, very is used for. So this one, next one, it is used for present participle. Present participle. And this one for past participle. Much for past participle. Okay. So very for positive degree, very for present participle, much for comparative degree, much for past participle. Okay. So this is the second thing. This is first one. This is second one. Okay. And example. She is very charming. She is very charming. Okay. Very is used for present participle. Okay. And next one, her dancing is much praised. Her dancing is much praised. Past participle and much is used. Okay. From this example, this is very much clear. Need not have any kind of further explanation. Okay. So clear in this example. Okay. So verb very is used in the positive degree and much is used in the comparative degree, and very is used, second one is that very is used for present participle. She is very charming, and much is used for past participle. Her dancing is much praised. We won't say her dancing is very praised. Instead, much praised. And here also she is much charming, also we will say she is very charming. Okay, but the thing is that nowadays it is quite common to use vary with the following past participle forms. That also mentioned here: tired, satisfied, pleased, surprised, delighted, grieved, pained, annoyed, disappointed, worried, bored. A list of words are there, so you can underline all those things. I am very tired. Okay, tired actually it's a past participle, but here very is used with past participle. I am very satisfied. Satisfied also past participle, and very is used. Nowadays it is common to use with these set of words only, not with any other past participles, with these set of past participles only. Okay. Next one, very should not be used with afraid, obliged and alike. Okay, so not to use. And third one, very important, don't use very with afraid, obliged, alike. Instead, much can be used. Okay, use much only. Use much for these three words. Only much is used, and don't use will. Okay, so these three words. These three words, don't use very. Instead, use much. Okay, so this should not be used, and this much should be used. So these are three words: afraid, obliged, alike. Much is used. Example: I am much obliged to you for help. Not I am very obliged. Okay, the two are not very alike, much alike. Okay, so first rule is that very is used in the positive degree, much is for comparative degree, and very for present participle, and much for past participle. But nowadays it is common to use with a set of words very also, the set of past participles. And very should not be used with afraid, obliged and alike, but much can be, much should be used. Okay, and the word to. To, we know that to in non-finance we have already studied. Okay, to will give a negative meaning. It is too much, very. Okay, too much of something. So it will always give a negative meaning. The sentence that not meaning won't be there. She is too thin to lift that box. She is too thin to lift that box. That means she is not that much healthy enough. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. And to generally will be followed by, will give a negative sense, and it is always followed by a to infinitive. That is what? To. Okay, she is too thin to lift that box. I am too tired to walk further. Okay, so that is the meaning of to. So to always already we have studied in non-finance. So that is, I don't have to explain the same thing again. Okay. Next with enough. Enough means sufficient. It is always used in a positive sense. Enough is used always in a positive sense, and it is placed after an adjective or an adverb but before a noun. Okay, so there the difference comes. So we have already studied that adverb, if it is coming, the adverb enough will be placed after the word it modifies. Okay, adverb enough. So that is why in the text, if you are opening your textbook, you can see the second example after an adverb. She ran fast enough. The word that modifies fast is an adverb. Okay, so that is why it is placed after the adverb. And next thing is that, so sorry, not after the adverb which it qualifies. Okay, so it is used in the positive sense, and it is placed after an adjective, or if adjective or adverb is there, it will be placed after that. But if it is a noun, it will be placed before that. Okay, I'll write the example, then you will get it clear. Okay. Okay, she is old enough. She is old enough. Adjective. Old is adjective, and this is the adverb. Okay. Next one, she ran fast enough. This is first one. She ran fast enough. So this one is adverb. Okay, and this one is the adverb, that enough, that qualifies this adverb. So here it is an adjective, and here it is an adverb. So after the adjective or after the adverb, enough will be placed. If it is adverb or adjective is there, it will be placed, and this enough will be placed after that. But if it is a noun, it will be placed before that. Okay, so there is third one. There is enough food. Okay, so this is very important. See, you can see in these three examples the difference. Okay, first one, adjective is there. So after the adjective which it qualifies. And second one, adverb is there. So again after the adverb which it qualifies. But the third one is a noun. So that is why enough will be placed not after the noun but before the noun. Okay, just opposite to the other two. So this one is a noun. So this will be placed before that. Here you can see in both these cases this one is placed after that. Okay, so enough will be placed after an adjective or an adverb, but enough will be placed before a noun. Okay, so that is in case of enough, you should know. Next one is quite, with adjectives that do not have a comparative or superlative degree. If an adjective does not have a comparative or superlative degree, we are to use quite there. Okay, quite means completely, entirely and fully. That means it is already complete. The word quite always give a meaning as completely, entirely and fully. So there is no superlative on the top of that. So that is why she is quite right. That means she is fully right. It is quite impossible. Absolutely impossible. And with other adjectives or adverbs, quite means a fairly great extent, to a great extent than average. She sings quite well. That means almost more than what is expected. Okay, she speaks English quite fluently. That means almost in a very good manner she is speaking. Okay, so these are the uses of very and much. We have seen positive degree very, and with present participle much is for comparative degree and past participle, and much is used for afraid, obliged and allied. Very should not be used, and to will be always followed by to infinitive, and enough will be placed after the adjective or after the adverb but before a noun. And quite, it is used with adjectives which does not have a superlative degree. Okay, and otherwise with other adjectives quite means fairly, in a good manner. That is the meaning of that. So with that the lesson adverbs is over. Okay, so in this lesson mainly you should know the kinds of adverbs and also the positioning of adverbs. Okay, positioning, we have seen 7 rules. So those 7 rules you have to just go through all the examples and the explanation which I gave you, and you will get a clear-cut idea about it. So what you have to do is that do all these exercises as homework, and I'll send you the answer key by the end of this week. Okay, and next week we'll start with prepositions. So preposition is also there for your terminal exam, second terminal exam. So that next week we'll start with prepositions. It's not much difficult. It is, when you look at the lesson, it is very simple, but it is very confusing. Okay, simple and confusing, but still we'll see. Okay, with a lot of examples we can see the things in detail. Okay, children. So okay, goodbye. Thank you.